Here she comes. That's our Miss Journey. Headed home to Indiana. She's a pretty thing. Nice to even see her in the daylight outside of the garage there. Escapade Camper. Well, there's the fine owner of this journey, Tom Ferguson and his Escapade.
And this is the other owner of the fine camper, Amy. Woohoo! We finally got it. The day has come. So, got your Escapade glam on, and we are ready to try to get back home. So, looks good. Yeah, we're over the top happy with the way we were treated here. We had Escapade with Jeff and Brianna. Super fantastic company, good group. So, we're on our way, and I guess what we can say is now officially the journey begins. So, ready to go.
Hi guys, it's the end of July 2022 and Tom and I are out camping and fishing. We're at the Algonaut State Park in Michigan. We are with some great friends, Jenny and Kent, who we met from the Vineyard Church. We first met them on a mission trip to Kentucky and realized quickly that we loved a lot of the same things. We love to fish and camp and just the outdoors. So they invited us up to go fishing. So it's Sunday afternoon. We're kind of packing up camp. We've been fishing hard since Thursday. We have great fishing stories. We're going to add a few photos somewhere along in this video just of the great catch that we had. I think we saw about every species that Lake Saint Clair had to offer. Everything from walleye to perch to pike to bass, etc. And just a really great time. So if you don't know that Lake Saint Clair, so right now Algonaut State Park is along the Saint Clair River. Starts at Lake Huron, drains into Lake Saint Clair, then down into Lake Erie. And I pulled it up on Gaia because we use Gaia a lot, so it gives you an idea. We are the little arrow, and if I pan out, you can see we marked some of our great fishing spots. But this is where we're staying at Algonaut State Park. The line you see is actually the Canadian border. So we are on the US side and just right across are our Canadian neighbors. Speaking of Canadian, maple syrup from our great friends Kenny and Jen. Typo. Blooper. I meant Jenny and Kent. So from here, Tom wants to talk about the camper too. So I'm going to take over the camera, and he wants to show you our Escapade, which we have named Journey.
Okay guys, hi. So we're back on the trail again, camping and hanging out, and Amy did the intro because she does the intro with that because Tom can't remember where it's at or some of the things, especially because she's my co-pilot and does an outstanding job with that. And she started, I pretty much have pushed her, gently nudged her in towards doing the videos, and she does a great job. We want to talk about the camper trailer that we have because I covered baby girl when we was on the trip from out west, and I just wanted to show you now the Escapade trailer. We bought this probably, we've had it now, 2 years I think, and we'll have a video on there about when we first got it and we're pulling out of the factory where they build them, and with that in mind, we brought it home from Minneapolis, around the Minneapolis, Minnesota area, brought it home, and we've had it ever since. The trailer itself, Brianna and Jeff are great guys. They're great people. We did had a fantastic opportunity to talk and visit with them. We also saw them out at Expo East, and they're just a great people, family owned, family operated. So this is really not a plug for them or for the Escapade. It's just something that when we look for trailers, it took us, oh man, we looked for months on end. And we're from South Bend, Indiana, and we're in the trailer capital of the world. Elkhart, Napanee, Goshen, Bremen. They build trailers there that go all over the United States and probably overseas too. But we looked there, we looked everywhere, and we finally found this trailer. And so what I would like to pass on to you is for those people that are looking to start into the overland adventure, this is kind of to help you out a little bit on your decision maybe. The Escapade trailer comes in, and the back door galley opens up here, and they will custom build this to your specifications or whatever you want. I chose to get the solid wall in the back, and the galley comes with the shelf, the lower shelf, upper shelf. There's also pass-through doors there that goes to the interior of the camper, so if you want something in the back, you can reach and grab, pull through. The cubbies you see here, I put together myself. I built those in the garage. Another thing that the projects that you can do, that you can make improvements based on how you need it, based on what you need. I also put in a slider so we can do prep work here in the back in the galley for cooking. I got a slider above the shelf, so that comes in handy also. 1.2 is to put a slider for the fridge. The back, this is the second fridge we have. I showed you the Dometic we had before, but this one works really well. So to have the refrigeration covered and the cooler for the trailer and the Jeep, we've got enough storage for all kinds of food, beverages, and things of that nature. As you can see in the back, the vinyl padding here is cushioned, so it's not real soft, not hard to touch or hard to go through. We'll show you the interior here in a second. Comes with the fire extinguisher on the side. I put the fire extinguisher in, and you can see the storage area that we have out, that you have inside the trailer in the back for your galley, which is very significant. Also, we'll talk a little bit about the solar. We have a 100-watt solar panel on top, and that's the control center for the solar panel. If you see down at the bottom, the electrical panel for plug-in, a USB port, cigarette port on that side. And with that came the opportunity for me on the left side here. It comes with the same thing, but what I did, I added an additional port here and ran it up to the main battery up front. So it just gives you a little bit more locations to plug in. Charging phones, as Amy has her charger here, charging her phone. So that comes in really handy. Upper shelf for storage comes to the split side in that from Escapade. While we're in the back, here's the solar panel on top. Like I said, it's 100 watt. It works really well. The reason we got the solar panel included, and I'm sure with the space you have up there, you can add more panels. But as we're traveling, and if it's a decent day and we got some decent sun, this is going to charge our battery to the point to where we get where we want to be. And once we're there, our battery's already charged. In opposed to getting there and setting everything up and trying to get it charged up to maintain the charge on the battery, we're charging as we're going. So everything in here is being able to be charged from the trailer, the battery up front, which we'll show you here in a minute. Have a hitch, 2-inch hitch in the back. Probably not rated for much of towing, but more for a bike rack, to put up a bike rack on the back. LED tail lights, which should last for a long, long time. The other thing I want to point out is the craftsmanship in this, and you'll see more of it inside, but we got the aluminum panel or aluminum shield in the back, solid all the way around at the base for rocks and things of that nature. Super insulated. Have a package here to where you could put a rack, another rack, or hold a rack on all four corners in case you want to hang something from that. We'll go around this side and show you. I added this for the roto packs, just a little extra fuel plus what we carry on baby girl. We have a water pack that goes here for a water. This trailer also has an upgrade so that you can upgrade the tires, rims, wheels for a little bit more of a rugged off-road appearance. It does come standard stock with street tires. So, but we have these. We have the Falcon tires on it. The Wild Peak AT all-terrain tires. Great tires. It comes with a spare, full-size spare, as you can see. Underneath is the Timbren axles. Independent axles on each side. There's no long axle in the middle, so you have plenty of ground clearance in case you want to come through. We've got the tire table. We showed you that. So speaking of the tire table and that, and the front runner chairs and things, sometimes you can use different items for dual purposes. This tire table went with me on my trip out west. The front runner chairs, we showed you that in the first video when we talked about baby girl. So it serves a dual purpose. You may have to duplicate some things because in our situation we have baby girl with the rooftop tent, and so we got two separate galleys and two separate deals. But some of the stuff you can use for dual purpose. Before we get too far out, we've got the Batwing canopy from Rhino Rack. This is one of Amy's choices. She really, actually, she suggested this. We had the awning that came out from the side, the ARB awning, and that was nice. It came outside, gave us plenty of shade. But what she was looking at the galley area. So with the galley area back here, as you can see, it gives you full coverage all the way inside, 270 degrees. So that works well also. With that, everybody's got to have the Timbo Tusk, the cooker, which we've had for a while, and just works super fantastic. The LP fireplace, we just got that. This is a trial run for it today, this weekend. As a matter of fact, we used it last night until the mosquitoes ran us out, right?
Yes.
I mean, they were quite hungry. So we've got that because all the fire burns that are out there are the regulations on fire burns and that. So we got that to try it out. The Timbo Tusk, of course, again, is super fantastic. And we'll go around to the front and I'll talk about the front of the trailer. Here's the front of the trailer, and again we've got 5-pound LP tank located in the front, and that gives me the opportunity to cook around the corner to the table. It comes in real handy. Those 5-pound canisters are great because they're easy to store, they're small. I know a lot of places are going to the 11-pounders, but I have 11-pound at home, but the brackets and stuff are set up for the 5 pounds. Escapade will supply those for you. They'll put them on. As a matter of fact, I requested Jeff to put one up on the front, and he put one in the back for me. The one thing too is the diamond plate aluminum. I added this to the trailer just for a little bit of extra places to set stuff and things of that nature. We did purchase the lock and roll hitch, which basically swivels. Thusly, then the hitch on baby girl has a hitch that goes like this on the end, and it basically is for up and down, right and left, so it oscillates and rotates around so you don't bind up the traditional ball hitch. One thing I did do, it didn't come with, but one thing I did do is I added a box. So if anybody's concerned about tongue weight, this is a plastic box or a polyurethane, where you want to talk. I did put a vent in the front and a vent in the back, 2 vents in the back, so that you can get air circulation in the back. There's a small one here you probably can't see, but there, and I'll tip it up. And the one thing I did do is I put this on hinges, and the reason for that is we have air conditioning and heating inside, and I'll show you that. But in order for you to run the air conditioner, you have to have this door open. And in order to put this box for storage, what I've got inside is the battery comes outside in a small RV plastic battery case, and I put this inside. The bottom is 3/4 inch plywood with marine carpet on top, and you can see everything that I put in here. It just helps out with storage. cords, stuff for your tent, wraps for everything. And we have our dog bones in here for additional if you have electrical, our water hose, extra canisters, more electrical stuff, your hammer, just anything for storage. It goes in there. Also, the legs to the Timbo Tusk, they fit here, so we carry those inside. So wherever we go with this package, we've got what we need, and that works. So in order to get this door open, though, I put this on hinges and rerouted the electrical cords under the bottom. But also, the reason for the hinges is I can raise this up, and what I did with the door is I put a piano hinge on it. A full-size piano hinge, and it locks here. So basically cut it in half, so when I want this open, all I do is fold it up, bring it up, let the box back down, and it's there. Works perfectly. I mean, it worked really, really well. So it gives me some extra storage. On top here, we have the Max fan, which is great if you don't have the air conditioner. This thing is wonderful. I mean, it will stand the curtains out with the windows open, and it's two directional. You can have it drawing out, or you can have it outside pulling in, and it just works fantastic. It really does. It does a good job. Amy, she's got that thing figured out to where it just keeps it nice and comfortable, and if we're not using the air conditioning. The other thing we did, I put a rescue kit on the side, axe and shovel, and I'll be quite honest with you, it's pretty much for looks, because I don't plan on using that shovel very often, so it's one of those things just in case we need it. I've got the train jack or utility jack, high lift jack on here, and that's come in handy a few times too, to where we could use that. If you can see on top, I've got a 20-gallon water tank that's potable water. It's fresh water. I painted it black so that it's basically for showers. So that kind of heats the water as we go. Comes down into this, from this hose is the hose to use to fill it. I come over here with PVC pipe over to this lever to where this valve lever, shut off valve, I can turn on off and it comes out here. And the reason for that is we have an external heater, on-demand water heat. Don't pay attention to the lousy paint job. So I had some rust coming over here and I painted it, and of course I messed it up, but we'll overlook that and talk about this. But this is great because it comes with again, having to mount the 5-pound tank here. It gives me an opportunity to hook up the LP to the hot water, on-demand hot water, which when you turn that thing on and hit it, it's instant hot water. And for you folks that have one, you know what I'm talking about. So this works out really well. In addition to that, on the back side, I showed you the little box that I manufactured that holds, it carries and holds the pump. So I've got the water pump, the hot hose, cold hose, the adapter for the LP in this little carrying spot with this door. And this door comes, you can have Jeff modify it however you want. And this door comes in handy because I could put everything in there, run all my stuff out to the heater, hook up my LP from here, and the electric that runs the pump is inside there on that panel I showed you on the left. So that works out real well. We have a little tent, and I can't remember the name of that. Amy, you remember the name of that tent we have?
It's an ARV awning, 4-sided tent.
Right, but it's not, it's this little shower hut.
Oh, it's a privacy tent.
Privacy tent. It pops
Sorry,
up here, and you can pops up here. You can run the hose out from here to shower from here. So we have a privacy tent. Again, our journey, the personalized plate kind of encapsulates what we do. To look inside, I'll let Amy go inside, and I'll go around the other side and kind of point some things out. On the inside here, you see you got plenty of room. The dimensions are on the website. I'm not going to give you the dimensions because I'll mess them up, but the dimensions are on the website for all those who are interested. Again, inside is maple hardwood. I mean, this is not your little thin maple wood that they use. This is solid maple insides, the 2 shelves in the back. This is a 3-inch memory foam mattress that folds up into a couch when you sit there, and we can sit and read or check your emails or whatever you want to do in there very comfortably. And no, the top doesn't raise. That's one of the questions we get all the time. Does the top go up? This is what we got, and the reason we got it for this is because we just wanted a place to sleep. We don't, we're not going to entertain a lot of people, and if we do, it's going to be outside. We didn't need a great big motorhome or a big trailer. That wasn't what fit in what we wanted to do. So this works fine because we like spending our time outdoors. If it gets, if it rains or the weather changes pretty bad, we can retreat inside here and be comfortable waiting out the storm. We went through a major storm in Tennessee when we were in Land Between the Lakes. Was that Tennessee or was Tennessee? Land Between the Lakes, right?
Land Between the Lakes. I'll have to look that up again to remember what state we were in.
Okay. But anyways, yeah. We were in a major rainstorm. It rained, I mean flat poured, and we were in this thing and it was comfortable. I mean, we got out of the weather. So that works out really well. Again, the vinyl flooring here that's cushioned. So when if you're in here on your hands and knees, it's pretty soft on the knees. The other thing is that, like I said, I'm pretty old and the joints don't work the way they used to in that, but getting in and out is easy. It's not a major problem getting in and out. The storage we have up front, again, we talked about storage in this. On this side, we've got major storage on both sides. We put our clothing up here and pack things up here that we need to have, and we just pretty much sometimes leave it in the trailer. Another shelf on the side here. Up front, you'll see where the power part's at, where we got the USB port, cigarette port plug in, and behind here on the second shelf, the lower shelf here, behind that is where all your electrics are, your electronic stuff, fuses, things of that nature that help run the electrical side of it inside. 2 lights that push lights that work really well. Then of course we have our little monitor, and this is just a monitor, so we usually run CDs and movies and videos and stuff of that nature. The heater is up here, so this thing will run you out of here really. I mean, it's a good heater, really good quality heater. A Frigidaire air conditioner that works really well. Again, the front door has to be open on this for this to work, but that's not a problem if you don't have the box. And if you do have a box, you can always improvise and maintain it so that it, will operate fine. Both doors, we have 2 doors, one on either side, which makes it nice because in the morning or when you're getting out, if you have to get out and go to the bathroom or what have you, you don't have to crawl over each other. You have your own side where you can get out. Amy came up with some great decorating things. We got the curtains, the cloth we found. I want to give kudos to my sister-in-law Sharon. She quite a seamstress, so she made the curtains. She made the little pillows in the back. So Amy did a great job of getting it decorated and things like that. Also, we've got the 22s. Step 22 boxes that we store stuff in, so it works out pretty good. It really does. It just looks good. It's comfortable. The quality on this thing is amazing. Like I said, they do a great job of craftsmanship, and they really take pride in their product. So that was what I wanted to do. Didn't want to go too far in with some of the stuff that we do, other than give you an indication of what works for us. And this works for us, and we really enjoy it. So when we're not in the rooftop tent and we want to take our journey with us, the Escapade Camper, we do that. I want to say too that it makes it easy for us to go around because it pulls real easy with the Jeep. It's quick and convenient to put up. We kind of laugh though sometimes when we pull in, if we're not out in the forest or out in the woods somewhere, and we use the, I'm not going to say have to, but if we go to a state park or something like that, and we pull in next to the, you know, what, $80,000-$100,000 motorhome and park in between them, and everybody kind of looks at us, but we don't care because it works for us. So just a little indication of what works for us and how we go about it with this trailer. So again, want to keep the channel going. Appreciate you guys watching. I'll post this on YouTube, probably get it up tonight, and with some photos of that giant fish that Amy caught. She slayed him again. So with that, guys, I appreciate you watching, and we'll talk to you later. Thank you.